Hi. Well, Suzannah, I absolutely loved your video. I've yet to actually see your video because it's not out yet when I'm filming this, but I know that I love all 15 of the puns you made. Today I'm going to be telling a story about something that happened to me recently, and that is my attempt to write a novel in 1 month. Now, I was originally introduced to the idea of writing a novel in 1 month by Suzannah. And she thought it would be a really great idea, and it actually really would be for me because I have a really big imagination. And what I mean by that is I often get lost in my imagination. By that I mean that I'm constantly coming up with stories in my head and then acting them out in my head. And constantly is constantly. And I get active while I do it. I also have something else that I often do while coming up with stories in my head, and it's a little weird. What I do is when I get excited about my story, or even really any story, I do this thing to the back of my head. It looks kind of like this. Weird. Yeah. It also makes me sometimes wonder about the state of the hair on the back of my head and whether people are constantly staring at it. Well, it was so nice to meet you too. You have a great one, okay? Business in the front, crazed maniac in the back. So the point of all that is basically to say that I didn't have any trouble at all coming up with a story to write a novel about. All I really had to do was figure out what subject matter and setting I wanted, and then just set my brain to rolling on it. And it just turned out a great story that I still know the entire story of what my novel would be. National Novel Writing Month, or Nanowrimo, started at the beginning of November, and I had every intention of writing the allotted 50,000 words to create a novel. And like I said, I even had a whole story planned out to write for it. So I disembarked on this journey on the 2nd day of November, which is a day late, but I still started, and I did write a fair amount. After about a week and 1,800 words, this is about how novel writing went the rest of the month.
You know, I could work on my novel today. Or I could get my oil changed.
I'm getting my oil changed today.
I should probably write some in my novel. Or I could watch Arrow.
Want to watch Arrow?
I could write something in my novel. Or I could call Suzannah.
Hi, Suzannah. So my word count at the end of the month was actually the same word count that I had after the first week. Needless to say, I haven't finished my novel. I still really enjoyed National Novel Writing Month, and I think it was the right thing to do. But really, I enjoyed coming up with a story and writing at least part of it, and I think it was a great way to channel my imagination, and who knows, maybe I'll go back and create that novel for y'all. I'm sure y'all are all dying to hear about it. And that's my Nanowrimo Shipwreck. Comment your own procrastination techniques below. And Suzannah, the helm is yours.